All right. Hey, Gigi. Gigi is all dry now. You're ready for a haircut. It's like cousin it right now. There we go. Gigi, well, hold on 1 second. Let me see your eyes. There you go. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. The thing is, I keep wanting to believe that she's like a stuffed animal, she'll stay still, and I forget that she's actually a live dog. And so I cannot predict or control how she's going to move. So you just got to work with it. There we go. Now we can see your eyes. Okay, so Gigi, we like to keep her long as possible. So I usually just come and give her just a light outline trim, meaning just scissor her feet round, touch up her face so it's nice and nice and cute and round, and a little more like this way. There we go. There we go. But today, what we're gonna do is give her a long haircut. So if you have a long hair dog like Gigi, and her hair is probably a good 3, 4 inches long, right? It's pretty long. So what we're gonna do is just keep her long, but just trim her up a little bit. So this is a 1 inch comb. This is the longest comb guard attachment that I have. And if you notice here, it's going to take about half or more of that hair off. See that? So, yeah, her hair is about a good 2, 3 inches. So, by taking an inch off the body, it's going to make her look really trimmed up. But we're going to leave the legs long and fluffy and scissor that. We're just going to shape the body up with the comb guard. So, here's the thing. I usually use a 30 blade under the comb guard attachment, my buttercut. And that's when I'm doing like a Bichon, Poodle, that kind of hair that stands up. With this wavy type of hair, with this very soft, silky hair, Yorkies, things like that, I've noticed to pack less in there in between the blades. Go Groomer, Amy actually brought that up as well. And I totally agree. The 10 blade, it just seems like the hair doesn't pack up in between the blades as much as quickly, and just seems to do a better job giving a smoother cut. A 10 blade rather than a 30 blade when dealing with this type of hair, and that's nice and soft and silky. What's up, Debbie Jack? Hi, June. I always seem to miss your first part of your live stream. Oh, well, you didn't miss much. I just shared a story about the realistic conflict theory, or some people know it as the robber's cave experiment, and just shared a pretty profound idea. Probably one of the most profound ideas I've ever shared in my life. Is just pure wisdom. Nothing much though. You didn't miss much. It's cool. Okay. One of these days, somebody is gonna scream, when they hear that joke, and be like, "Not again!" It's all good. Okay, so, oh, okay. I, I unplugged it when I was using my dryer to dry her. I was about to say something's going on. But that happened to me once. My clippers just gave out, and I was doing Leo, the Moyen, the Klein Poodle, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe this is just the universe giving me an opportunity to practice my scissor skills. So I put the clippers down, combed him up. He's a poodle, so that poodle type of hair, and I just scissored the whole thing. It was pretty awesome. Anyways, Debbie Jack says, I will have to go back and watch the first half. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. All right. So, what we're going to do is first, and anytime I'm working on this long coat like this, I always have like a little bit of hesitation, like, oh no, all this beautiful long hair. Okay, well, here we go. It's a 1 inch comb. So all the prep work I did in the video before this one, where I showed all the combing and all of that, all of that prep work is what's allowing the the comb guards to just go right through the coat so smoothly. It's not catching on anything. So all of that prep work that we did before the bath. There we go. Alright. Good girl. Easy. Okay. Because she's too short, you know, I can't get my clippers through. There we go. There we go. All right. She's so stiff. I have a few dogs like this. They're so awkward. She's leaning to this side. You probably can't see it, but she's leaning to this side constantly. So, look at that. At any moment, if I kind of tap her right, she might just fall over. Alrighty. It's like someone's body just locking up, all of their muscles just contracting, you know? There you go. Good girl. So we got that side. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I don't know what I want to do about this belly. Holy cow. I feel really bloated and full these days. Crazy. I've been reading about like your gut health, your microbiome, and like how they call it like the food belly, right? Koreans call this dompe, dompe, like it's just a full belly. Anyways, I'm just seeing it on the screen, it's bugging me. Okay. You know, it's like, what am I, preparing to play Santa Claus this Christmas? Like, what in the world, you know? But you know what I think it is? It's all this driving I've been doing back and forth to Tennessee. So my daughter's up in Tennessee, so whenever I drive up there to see them, it's like a 4.5 hour drive one way. And when I drive, when I make road trips, I don't really feel hungry. I don't really want to eat, but then I want to eat because I'm bored, I guess, you know, because I start feeling sleepy while I'm traveling. So I'll stop by the gas stations to use restrooms and buy a snack. And, you know, it's like chocolate, Twix, you know, things like that. Kit Kats and Reese's bars, you know, and coffee. And so, and then also when I'm working, you know, I try to cook dinner. I try to cook at home more because, well, first it was more of a budget issue. I was just trying to save money. But I also like to cook a lot. I really enjoy it. And so it really started to become more and more enjoyable. But I'm starting to have less and less time. You know, when I get off of work, it's usually around 5 or 6. And then I go home and my dogs are waiting for me. They've been stuck in the room all day, right? And sometimes I try to turn on Animal Planet and stuff like that for my dogs. Oh my god. But they don't really seem interested in the TV, so I just, you know, whatever. But anyways, when I get home, I walk my dogs first thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna move the table so I don't have to move her. There we go. Yeah, when I get home, I walk my dogs and then feed them dinner, cook myself some dinner. And well, and the thing is, these days I haven't really been able to cook myself dinner. I've been so busy and tired. I've just been eating kind of whatever and just eating late because that's the only time I have to eat, you know? And then get to bed late, pass out like around 11, and then wake up around 7, 7:30, walk my dogs, you know, get them breakfast. And then I don't even have time to cook breakfast anymore because I should be waking up at 6:30, but I'm just so tired. So I just rush out the door, grab some coffee and some breakfast at gas stations on the way to work. You know, it's just kind of, it seems like the busier I'm getting, the less time I'm having to do things, you know, like, so, but yeah, before it was like I was going to the gym regularly and everything. I was feeling, anyways. So you just gotta work with her. Like, she's really stiff, and I don't, maybe I can bring this back. Okay. There we go. My first I usually have a towel here, but the way you see how she like scrambles and kicks her feet and stuff, and she's scooted the towel off the table, so I was like, you know what? It's fine. Okay. If I could just get a good angle. There we go. Good girl. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now that we have her all clipped down, now we're just going to do the scissor work. Oh man. I think everything feels so much harder because I'm feeling a little claustrophobic, which is why I know I cannot work in a mobile van. Because I still have a lot of room here if you think about it. I'm in a restaurant, I'm in a bathroom, so but still I feel trapped. I feel so claustrophobic. Anyways. Feels hard to move. Might be a mental thing. Okay. So now that we have all the clipper work done, okay. Now time to scissor everything up, finish the haircut. I'm gonna turn the fan on. I'm dying in here. Oh man. It's hard Breathe. Okay, let me open the door here. Uh, there we go. Oh wow, I can breathe. Whew, feels much better. Okay. I'm dying. Oh man. Is this what 39 feels like? I just turned 39. Oh. And maybe this is my brain telling me that I'm 39 and this is what 39 feels like. I don't know, but wow. Man, everything's just much harder now, you know? Shoot. I tie my shoes and I'm out of breath, you know? I don't even tie my shoes, actually. I don't have laces, and I still feel tired when I put my shoes on. Anyways, all right, let's do this. So, first things first, what I like to do is go ahead and clean this up. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and put our top knot in first. Get that out the way. There we go. So I made this little bow for her earlier. So I'm gonna put the top knot in, or tie it up, I mean. Get it out the way. There we go. There we go. I see like a piece of hair. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. So it's right in the middle that I like to tie up. So I like to use the hair. There we go. The hair, I mean the eyes, the corner of the eyes as my guide. There we go. A little bit more here. There we go. I have to admit, I struggle with with this. Anything that has to do with being delicate and nimble with your fingers, I struggle with. But I have been getting better because my dog Weemy, I tie his hair up in a top knot. So doing my own dog every day does help. There we go. So got that bow in. I wish she wouldn't struggle so much and push against, and maybe if I push this way. No, she's just gonna keep going. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. You know what I really think I need is just like a day to just collapse and just not do anything but just lay in bed for a day or two. Because I don't know, I feel fatigued. I feel so tired and just fatigued these days. Man, you know, girl, and you leaning all which way doesn't really help. It doesn't. It doesn't help at all. But anyways, yeah, because I've been running nonstop. Like I said, just running nonstop, appointment to appointment, and then running home to my dogs, taking care of my 3 dogs, you know, trying to do my laundry, keep up with that. Oh, sorry about that. And then on my days off, anytime I have like a day off, which I really don't, I mean, like last month, I think I had like 3 days off. And every time I have a day off, I drive up to Tennessee and make that 4+ hour drive. So, you know, one way is 4 hours. So driving up and down is like, you know, 9 hour day. It's like a full day driving. And I know I'm just sitting there in the car driving. It's not much, but I don't know. It's just, it wears on you, you know, it just wears you out after a while. And then I come back, straight back home. The other day I made it home at, because I left Tennessee a little after 9 o'clock their time, which is 10 o'clock our time because they're an hour behind. Because we were singing happy birthday to my daughter and everything. And anyways, so I left there kind of late, got home like around 3 in the morning. And then that was a couple days ago. And yeah, woke up, went to work, groomed all day, and then go back home, take care of my dogs. And then wake up today, I did a dog this morning, now I'm here. And it's like, I really think that I just need to lay down for a bit and just not do anything. But I just don't. I mean, I guess I could, but I just don't want to. Because again, even though I probably should and could just lay in bed one of my days off and just do nothing, I mean, I don't think I would feel good about it. I don't think I could just lay there. I just have too much in my mind. I want to hedge my bushes in my my front yard. That's not code for anything. I just really, literally, I want to hedge the bushes. It's getting out of hand. But also, I feel like on those days off, you know, I'd rather just drive up and spend some time with my daughters and drive back down. Because, you know, I want to show them how important they are to me. Well, and it's definitely worth it. It's worth the drive. Away like that, you see me just let go. Because by me just holding on to it, it's just going to cause her to pull more and more, see? So by letting go, it just gives her a break for a second, like, oh. And then I just hold on to it again. And that's why I think I'm sweating more. Oh. And like when the dogs pull away, you know, she's always been like this, but for some reason today it just feels more exhausting, I guess, more tiring. But anyways, see, she turns her head. There you go. Good girl. So now we can see her eyes. See that? Nice. Okay, so now let's work on the rest of her face. Okay. But yeah, I mean, these days I feel more out of breath, and I was actually pretty concerned, and I was like telling my client about this, and I was like, I'm like worried, you know? And she goes, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I just turned 39." And she cracks up laughing. And she just laughs, and she laughs so hard, and she's like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "You're just getting started." She was like, "Welcome to the club." And I was like, "Oh, what? It gets worse?" And she was like, "Honey." But yeah, she was like, "That's just called getting old." And I was like, "Oh man, like I feel it these days, you know? Like, oh man." There we go. Alrighty. Good girl. There we go. that with the thinners. There we go. So I'm just trying to shape that head round, right? Shape the chin round, just round it all up. And then with the ears, man, even picking up the comb there, struggling just to grip it. Shoot, man. Anyways, okay. I don't know, why am I complaining so Shoot, why am I whining so much? My goodness. Okay. So I'm getting old, baby. Shoot. There we go. Now I understand. Shoot. When I was younger, hear those old people just complaining, you know? I just thought they were miserable. It's like, no, they're just old. That's just how old people talk. We just complain, you know? Literally, I think that's really how old people start to communicate, you know? We just complain. That's our conversation, right? How about that coronavirus? It's like, you know, usually, if you want to strike up a conversation with an old person, seems like all you have to do is just find something to complain about and they will join right in. It just seems like, you know, like, man, this weather is really doing a number on my joints, you know? They'll be like, yup. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so now that we have the head and the ears shaped up, and I can always okay. Okay, man, my Jedi mind tricks don't really work on her. She's like Jango Fett, you know? All right, there we go. So now that we have her head pretty much shaped up, we can soften that up with the thinners. Now, let's go ahead and finish up the feet and the legs. I like to pick the foot up and start at the bottom. Just kind of clean up the bottom there. Oh. Okay. One second. This is one of the harder grooms for me because even though she's not aggressive and she doesn't lash out or anything, and she's not scared or fearful, because that's also hard to deal with as well. She's just very stubborn. She's just very stubborn and headstrong. But I mean, it's her body, right? So I can't really get upset with her for being so stubborn about it. I mean, she's just not wanting me to touch her body, you know? So I don't want to be too mean about it. But then I have to try to figure out ways to touch her, because when I touch her here, she's gonna push back, or when I touch here, she's gonna lean into it. So I have to try to touch her in places where I can try to position her where I want her. And then when I hold her, I have to hold her so gently, because if I put any pressure on here, it's gonna cause, see that? Because it's gonna cause her to pull away. So I have to hold her so gently. And then when I feel her trying to pull away, rather than hold tighter, I have to loosen up even more and just barely hold it. And that's the only way I've learned that she'll let me hold her, or like she'll cooperate a little bit. But when I hold her more tightly, when she starts to pull away, I can feel her starting to pull away. I have to loosen up my grip rather than tighten it, and then she'll kind of stay there for a little bit. So it's been interesting learning how to groom Gigi. For a little bit there, she was so stubborn about her rear area. She would just plop down and she would go stiff. So when I try to lift her up, her whole backside would just lift up in one stiff assembly, and then I actually told her this was about 5 years ago, maybe when we were at Chambly, when we were grooming out of the Chambly house. I remember telling her owner, like, I think there might be something wrong with her rear legs, you know, like she goes completely stiff back there. She won't let me lift her. And like, I was like, I don't know, there might be something going on back there. And so she took her to the vet and they took x-rays. Turns out, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with her other than her attitude, right, Diva? Anyways, so that really taught me about because up until then, I even told her owner, I don't think dogs know how to lie. You know, I was like, dogs don't lie. There's something wrong with her back there. Obviously, she's won't let me touch her back there, and she goes stiff. And yeah, it just turns out she just doesn't like being told what to do. Yeah, and then also like walking, she will not walk unless she feels like she's the one leading. She will not walk with me. So it's interesting learning the different dogs' personalities that I groom and learning to work with each individual dog's personality, you know, because they are all different. There we go. Now this back foot. Alrighty. And now she's much more cooperative. I mean, she still, you know, leans to one side and does like that. And she still makes it a little tough on me, but now that I've learned how to hold her, and it's not a one size fits all approach. Some dogs you have to tighten your grip and you have to be more firm, especially for their own safety, so they don't whip around and accidentally hurt themselves. But you know, with certain dogs like Gigi here, you have to loosen your grip because the tighter you grip her, the more she's gonna fight. But when you loosen up your grip, then she loosens up as well. She relaxes. Okay. There we go. I'll get the rest with the thinners. Okay, now I'm going to do this other side here. Okay, Gigi. Okay, so I pick it up to clean up the bottom there, then put it down, and then I go around the foot at a 45-degree angle, my blade angle. There we go. Clean up back here a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Come on, girl. There you go. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me just finish that foot. Oh, oops. Okay. Oh, let me give my back a little stretch for a second. Whoa. Okay. Oh, because usually I have room to walk around the table and everything, but when I'm when I'm confined, right, and I have a tight suit, I have to squeeze and find weird angles to try to see where I'm cutting. Takes a toll on my back. All right, alrighty. So looks pretty nice though, right? Nice little round feet now. All right. All right. It's not you, girl. It's the accumulation of a long month, long week, long month. All right. But it's March. It is March now. Okay, so what I like to do is sometimes when you overwhelm them, right? You overwhelm them, then they don't really know what to do. So I learned that with Caesar Milan, with the aggressive dog he was dealing with. The dog was like snarling at him and everything, and the dog had a muzzle on, so obviously he didn't have to worry about getting bit. And so then he just touched the dog everywhere. He was just touching him, kind of overwhelming him, and the dog kind of calmed down. And I was like, oh wow. And the way that Caesar explained it, and I mean, I'm not gonna remember word for word, but basically he was just saying that if you overwhelm them by touching them a lot, then they just kind of submit, because he's saying in the dog world, the dog that touches the most wins, is the more dominant one. So, and also I feel like kind of looks cool too, like martial arts, especially when she's like starts moving her head sideways. Okay, there we go. Soften those lines there. All right, nice round face. Nice soft round face. There we go. See that? Okay. There we go. Awesome. All right. Now, I'm going to blend the legs. There we go. What I like about the thinners around the feet is you can kind of use the thinners to kind of grab and pull some of the hairs out, and you can see the longer hairs, and then you can make that nice round soft shape, soft round shape. There we go. There we go. See that? Nice round foot there. There we go. Shape up this back leg. There we go. That way you can like grab and pull the hairs that are kind of sticking out and longer. You can make a nice soft round shape. Okay, one more foot. There we go. It really helps if they have the foot flat and not pointed. Like how she's pointing it now, digging her toe over her claws in there. It's not how you want it. There you go. And I'm just gonna lift it up because it's just easier. There we go. Okay. Good girl, Gigi. Okay. Okay. There we go. You're all done, girl. Look at here. There we go. And then if you want to do like go the extra mile, I guess, then you can go through with the undercoat rake and then just go through, and it may not get much because I did do a really thorough job, but like under here I can feel a little bit graininess. So there we go. And it just makes everything feel so much smoother. Just smooths it out, smooths out any lines you might have. Okay. See that? And it's not getting out that much, but it's getting out enough to where it's making a pretty big difference when you feel the texture. And also the skin, you can feel the bumps going away on the skin as well. There we go. Look at all that. There we go. Oh wow, now she's gonna feel so soft. She got shiny. Look how shiny she is now. Alrighty. So this beautiful, shiny, soft, silky coat, it was always there. It's just, we couldn't see it or feel it because we had all of that dead coat mixed in there with it. But as we get it all out, now what's left is that healthy, live coat that's smooth, soft, and silky, has all this color and brightness, shine to it. And she's gonna smell great for weeks, even if she goes outside and gets wet. There we go. There we go. See all that? That's after everything we got before the bath and before the haircut. There we go. Good girl. There we are. Oh, wow. Good job, girl. Okay, good shake. There you go. Let me just trim that a little bit. There we go. Well, I always tell people if only people knew how much work goes into making a dog look natural. There we go. Awesome. Good job, girl. So she is all done. All right. So let me give everybody a nice finish shot. Oh, good job, Gigi. I'm so proud of you, girl. Look here, girl. Oh, I'm so proud of you, Gigi. Oh, awesome. Good job, girl. Okay. Oh, May Chan says, June 39 is not old, just believe me. Yeah, maybe I'm just going through this transition. I don't know. Like, wow, I feel it. Okay. Debbie says, you're young still. That has to be exhausting. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just exhausted, you know? Beautiful Shih Tzu and a gorgeous color. Yeah, isn't she? That's Kanga Blue says. Pamela, what's up, Pamela? Good to see you again. Oh my goodness, Gigi. I honestly thought that was a different dog. Yeah, right? Look at her. She's so soft and silky. Look at her. Oh my goodness, Gigi. Look here. Okay, you know what? There we go. All right, girl. She's a diva. You really, whatever it is you want her to do, if you can make it clear to her what it is you want her to do, she'll do the exact opposite. So you want to make it very clear to her. Look right here. Can you look right here? See? Now that she knows exactly where I want her to look, she okay, Gigi, look over there. Look there where you were looking. Nope, now she won't. Okay, so they look here. Even she finds it funny. Okay. She likes the face trims. Yeah. Oh man, I see a little bit of hair sticking out there, so I'm gonna touch it up a little bit while I see it. So sometimes I like doing it on the, oh, she just sits there like, oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes I like looking at the camera view because it kind of shows me hair that I didn't see that was sticking out. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, Gigi. Beautiful girl. Okay. All righty. So there she is. All done. Nice, Gigi. All right, girl. Snip, snippity, snip. Whittle away, dude. Seriously though, you're right. The importance of brushing, what a difference. Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, so she is all done. Even with the fine tooth side of the comb, like butter. Look at that. Nice. Alrighty. Well, thanks for look at this. Oh man, thank you for watching, everybody. I gotta clean up. I just made a wreck in this bathroom. But you know what? I mean, I try to be as considerate as possible. I put a towel down on the floor so that the table doesn't scrape the floors or anything. I put towels down over the counters with my tools, you know, even though it looks like a wreck. A little behind the scenes, you know. But hey, as long as they look nice, right, girl? As long as they look nice. Mwah. See you guys.